All right. So today we are talking about Pompey and Caesar and their massive civil war. So to get things kicked off, Julius Caesar was asked to give up his army, give up Gaul, and to come back to Rome and basically get thrown in jail. And to which Julius Caesar decided that he was not going to do that. And so January 10th, 49 BCE, he crosses the Rubicon River, officially re-entering Roman territory on the Italian peninsula, and starts the civil war with Pompey, whom was his old ally. And so these are the territories that were loyal to Caesar and loyal to Pompey. Um, these guys were loyal to the red, were loyal to the Optimates and Pompey and the Senate, and the blue is who favored Caesar. Um, the average Romans favored Caesar, and so that's why Pompey and the Senate had to flee, and that was their first key mistake because they left behind the Roman treasury, and that gave Julius Caesar enough money to make a navy to go chase after them across the Mediterranean Sea. And so they met in the battles of Dyrrhachium and Pharsalus, in which Caesar was able to decisively defeat Pompey on August 8th, 48 BCE. And so that sent Pompey scrambling, losing 15,000 men and 24,000 that surrendered to Caesar. And Caesar only lost about 200 men and about 30 centurions. And so it was a massive and overwhelming victory for Julius Caesar and his army. And Pompey decides to flee and he decides to go to Egypt. And so when he arrives in Egypt, he's expecting to meet an ally of the Senate and Ptolemy the 13th. And instead, Ptolemy the 13th assassinates him on September 28th, 48 BCE, because he heard of Pompey losing the civil war to Julius Caesar, and he was losing his own civil war to Cleopatra. And so, to try and gain a quick ally, Ptolemy the 13th murders Pompey, and when Caesar arrives, he tries to present Caesar with Pompey's head, as you see up here in the top right. And Caesar was disgusted with this gesture, and he decides to side with Cleopatra. And it is not long after that that Caesar and Cleopatra gain control of Egypt, and they are officially annexed as a province of Rome. And then all that was left to do was to go round up the remaining Pompey supporters that ran off to Carthage after Pompey's assassination, which he did. And then he decided to return to Rome, and that is where he is elected dictator perpetuo, which means dictator for life. And this caught a lot of Romans off guard because they expected him to restore the republic upon his return, and Julius Caesar did not. He got claimed, he hit himself with the title of dictator perpetuo. And so Pompey, Crassus, and the first triumvirate are officially gone, and Caesar is the only one left to remain. And it kind of begs the question of, did he make the right decision to declare himself dictator perpetual, because he did lose some support by the Roman citizens, but they thought ultimately he was going to try and solve the crisis and then eventually maybe resign. But that is the information on the Pompey Caesar civil war.